Hello and welcome to my channel at MiniMoon Arts. This is Annie and I thought I'd just do a quick video on how to make links like this. As you can see, they are very solid links, and this is a amber. Oh, are we allowed to say that word? This is a amber bracelet that I'm making for a client who's needing some help with arthritic pain. And I thought, whilst I'm making it, why not film it? And we can have a little jaunt together making some links. So what I'm using today is some 0.6mm wire. This is a copper wire that is silver plated. I like to use copper because it's really great for the properties. It magnifies the healing properties that the crystals that I work with signify, their metaphysical properties. Okay, so I'm going to use my bail maker. You can use round nose pliers. I know that a bail maker is kind of a bit more of a specialist one, and you can definitely just use a round nose plier. I would suggest making a mark on the tip here as to where you're making your loop so that it is uniform throughout the whole bracelet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this smallest one on the tip here. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to leave about 1.5 centimeters. I'm not used to having to actually measure things or think about it because I usually just do it. So twist that round, and with the long part coming over the top and the smaller part coming down the back, and then with my thumb and my hand I'm just going to make that turn there. So if I just take that off so you can see the shape, and that's your eyelet. So if we're joining, I'm just going to make this first one for you to see just what we're doing at this end. So I'm just going to clench this tightly with my chain nose pliers, and what that does is that actually hardens the ends and does the same effect as if you were to hammer it, and that just really sturdies that up, so that's not going anywhere. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you could do this. You can hold on to it, carry on holding on to it like this, and start bringing this round using your hands, your tools, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And you will get to a certain point, unless you've got a really long tail, where you're actually going to need the assistance of your tools, because otherwise you're just going to end up with loads of holes in your fingers. Spiky stuff, this wire. And you're just working it round, gentle, take your time about it. There we go, and just make sure that's all nicely tucked in. So it really is as simple as that, and that is your first part of your chain. Okay, and then you want to get your bead. Take your bead, pop it on. Fabulous. Okay, so on the other side you want to make sure that you've got the same amount of space on this side as you've got your wraps there. So with these, I kind of measure mine by just using this second step, because that equals around the same. Bring that on here, sorry. Your second step here is around the same amount of space as here, and I'm just going to go boop like that. Okay, so that creates that 45-degree angle, and then just twist very slightly. So I'm holding it now at a very slightly different angle, and I'm just going to bring that around like this, and we're just going to do another twist and bring that round. There we go. And perfect. You've got your next eyelet. Now, what we're going to do is we need to join this onto the other ones, don't we? Otherwise, you're going to end up with single ones like this where I completely forgot to actually attach it to anything. So I'm just going to work hard on that end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to push it out very slightly. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it's created just a little bit of space there for me to then thread this on. There we go. And then we just want to bring that back together and hold that like that. Now I'm going to hold mine with my chain nose pliers, needle nose pliers, not chain nose, and just start wrapping. There we go. And you want to do about the same amount of wraps you've got on the other side, and you also want your end really to sit on the same side. So my end that I've snipped on this side is here. Can't really see it, which is kind of the aim of the game. And then I'm going to come in with my flush cutters and cut there as close as possible. And you saw that wire flying off? You need to be careful of that, especially if it's a short end. It is very easy to get a wire in the eye. Please be careful and don't do what I just did. And actually, if you clench the end of the wire, I should stop that. So we just want to tighten that, and there you've got your link. How lovely is that? Should we do another one? Okay, let's do another one. Let's find that piece of wire that flew off. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to attach this one, don't I? So we are going to just get my rounder, because I've got a bit of an end, so I'm just rounding that off. There we go. And we just do the same process again. So we're going to wrap around this first one with about 1.5 centimeters. We go round, come over the top. So you've got your tail, short tail is underneath, long tail is over the top, and using my thumb and my finger, creating that angle there. Okay, and then we're going to use, I'm just going to move this off to one side because I'm worried it's distracting the camera a bit. Our chain nose or needle nose pliers, and just, there we go. So you just work hardening that so it gets that kind of flattened look, and we're just going to push up very slightly so you've got a gap there, and I'm going to thread this stray one on, and then I've just pushed that back together like that. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to hold on to this with my round nose pliers, because I'm going to need my needle nose ones in a minute, because this is a short tail and I don't want to hurt myself. And trust me, I have done it lots of times and I don't want to experience it again. Okay, so you're just working it round. Here we go, working it round, and perfect. Tighten that up. Okay, and then you just take your bead, put that on the end, thread it through, and you've nearly got another link done. Isn't this easy? It's easy once you know what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to use my veil maker again. So I'm using this second one, and I'm going to just pop it on here. There we go. And bend it 45-degree angle. Do you see that? And then we're just going to move your veil maker very slightly, slightly different angle. Bring that round, move it again, and bring that round. go. And you've got your eye. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to work harden again. And remember Annie, we are just a little self-reminder, we're connecting this to the longer one. So we've got our work hardened, and then before we put it on, I'm just going to separate it slightly, thread this on the end, and close that up, and then we're just going to wrap it round, and that closes off and finishes up your amazing, sturdy, in my case toddler proof, chain links. These bracelets are really popular, and I've had so many people commenting on how sturdy they are and how difficult it is for these bracelets to go missing, to get broken. I've got the cat is glaring at me through the door because I've shut him out. Okay, so I will need to do a few more links on here, but I think you get the idea. It's going to sit like this. I'm going to make a handmade clasp. Maybe I'll do a different video for the handmade clasp. And that will go to my customer. So I thought what I might do very quickly actually is show you how to do it with the round nose pliers, because it's very slightly different. So rather than using my bail maker, because not everybody has that, I just want to do it with one of these. So I'm actually being yelled at now. Sorry, just had a little interlude there, having a chat with the kitten. Okay, so I'm gripping it. It's in my favourite spot, and it's not quite halfway. I'd say it's about a third of a way. And I want to show you how I do it. So I've got my 1.5 centimetres there, and I'm twisting the long end round. You see the action there? I'm just letting go very slightly. There we go. And then, whoop. So I'm trying to do this on camera, I'm not used to it. When we want to do our angle like that. Okay, I'll just take that off. And I want to just work hard in the end there. Like this. And then I'm actually just going to grip it and can you hear the cat? And start. He's called Gizmo. He's about 6 months old and he's got a big meow. Here we go. So I'm just going to use the needle nose pliers. Sometimes the silver plated copper can be a little bit difficult to maneuver. It's a bit stiffer because of the plating. But not everybody is a copper lover like me. Here we go. I have to admit, I do find this fiddlier with the needle nose pliers. Somehow the bail makers just seem to make things a lot easier. So there we go, and that is your eye there. Looks very similar to the ones that we've got there. So we just want to pop our bead on. There we go, and we want to do our bend here. So you need to work out with your round noses like where is about the same amount. So I'm clenching there and it's about halfway. So what you want to do at this end is you want to clench it about halfway, and then you push it to do your angle. So nice 45 degrees, and then you're pulling it back down a bit to where you did the same. So you've got the same size loop there, and you pull that round, pull it round like this, and then if we were adding, we would just add it to there. I mean, I think I probably could. I think I've managed to make them, yeah, pretty darn right. So I am actually going to add this on. So you want to work hard in again with your chain nose like that, and push to split, thread that on, to close that up, grip, and start winding, winding. There we go. And we've just got a little bit we need to snip. There we go. And tighten. Hey. And that, my friends, is how you do a very sturdy chain link that looks beautiful and elegant. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you got any value from this, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video, maybe consider subscribing for more. All of that helps to tell the algorithm that people like and value this video, and would push it out to more people who might find that interesting. You can find me over on social media at MiniMoon Arts. I spend most of my time on Instagram, so you're likely to find me there. If you follow my link tree, then you can get hold of my free crystal beginner guide, and with it comes a bonus cheat sheet for crystals, and it also has your 5 essential beginner crystals as well, and what some of their meanings are. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video.